And there it is. Yay, here we go, 66. A ball is dropped from a height of 8 meters. So let's put in our first drop of 8. After each bounce, it raises to 75% of its previous height. So it comes down and drops here, which means this must be its next height. 75% of 8 means it's 6, 3/4. And it bounces here at 2. 75% of 6 is 4.5. So the height of the 1, 2, 3, whatever, I'm just going to write it in. It's going to be 4.5. And then my calculator skills drop off. What's it going to be? It's going to be 1/4 of 4 is 1 off. 3/4 of 4.5. 3735. First bounce, second bounce, third bounce. At the peak of the fourth bounce, so the peak of the fourth, we got this number is 375 times 0.75. 253,125. That's the peak of the fourth bounce. That right there is the peak of the fourth bounce. All right. Well, that becomes our new starting point. I'd like you to kind of just draw a new one from there. That's where it starts from, 2.53125. And then it drops down, and then it continues from there. And we set up two different questions. We set up drop, and we set up rise. Let's do that. I'm going to zoom out a bit just because we're a little crowded. Drop and rise. So to its last bounce, meaning it's going to end up stopping at infinity. So we use an infinite series. We've got A1 minus R. The top drop is 2.53125. One take away R, and it's going at 0.75. But it rises to 75%. It rises to, so we need to make sure that our new decimal down there, it rises to 75%. So our ratio is actually 0.75. Well, we're just dealing with the ratio here. The ratio is 0.75. And we take one, take away that. Okay. And then we do that on our calculators, leave all those numbers in there. Divided by bracket 1, take away 0.75. I guess I didn't need to do that part on my calculator. And we've got 10.125. Well, our rising height, how high is this going to go? Well, we need to figure out what this next value is. And here's the fast way. If you already have it in your calculator, just go grab it from your calculator. Just go up, up, up like that. Hit enter. Go up and grab that number and then times it by 0.75. So it's that value. And then we're going to divide that by 0.25. and that becomes which is the number I told you at the beginning. Different from the number in the back. Last year when I worked this one out, this is the number we got. I'm using the model from this one too. It rises to 80% of its previous height. So we're using... Yep. They get this one? This is it's asking us for the vertical from the peak of the fourth bounce. This is the first bounce. That's the peak of the first bounce. Peak of the second bounce. Peak of the third bounce. Peak of the fourth bounce, which is the number we used. So here they're figuring out the height after the fourth bounce. Let's see if we can make their numbers make sense in this first question. Determine the height after the fourth bounce. So it is still recording. Yep. So okay, we got 10. It's going to 80%. So it's bouncing once, and it's coming up to 8. Bouncing twice, coming out to 6.4. Bouncing a third time. Coming out to yeah. Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Is this it's counting the ups, because you can see where it's starting. It's counting the ups. Well, it's just another way of thinking about it. Yeah, I think the difference is, what does it mean from the peak of the fourth? I think if I were to give you a question like this, I would draw from the arrow of which part I want you to start at. Yep. So they're calling the first bounce height 8. That's the first bounce. T1 is 8. T2 is 6.4. 6.4 times 0.8 is 512. Peak of the fourth is 409. So peak of the fourth, so I get the same number here. This is this. So this is the down vertical. This is the down. And then we need the up height as well. So we need this one times 0.8. 3, 2, 7. Which is this value here. This is the up. So this is the down, and this one is the up. So let's figure out, make sure their numbers work here. The down, which was 4096, is right there. The value of A1 minus R. R was our 0.8. We get that one. Our rise, our up, was from this bounce going up, which was 327. We get that, add them together as that. So I've used the same method in 66 as they did here in 65. That's why I think the number here should be that number, 1772. So I would question the answer in the back here.